Would you check out the trunk on this thing? Look at that. That is so unique. That's the Robolini. I love to show it when it's like that this time of year. Hey, thanks for jumping on the live stream for Eat Your Backyard. This is an evening stream. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will subscribe and hit the like button. Let me know you like this kind of video. This is Ponzi, one of my hens. She's my little pet chicken tonight. And really tonight I just wanted to cover a couple of topics that I felt inspired to cover. One is the absolute simplicity of composting. And I just wanted to demonstrate the most simple way to compost, the most simple way to deal with your food waste. Look at that, food waste. We're eating a lot of eggs, can you tell? Now, Ponzi would love to eat some of this compost, so we might give her a little, actually. In here, there's a couple choice pieces, and now that I think of it, I do see there's an apple core right here. I bet you she'd like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I dried some fruit, so I have some apple cores and some peach pits. Here you go. Here's a kind of old, soft blackberry. She'll eat that. Here's a piece of plum. Yeah, little Ponzi. So 2 topics today. One is that I want to show you this. And then the second thing is to talk about a problem that's specifically happening with this hen. And that is soft eggs. We've been experiencing soft eggs. I'm actually kind of, no joke, seriously alarmed by the occurrence of the soft eggs. You know, we don't want these little hens to get sick or anything. So what we've decided to do, she seems healthy in every possible way. Her eyes are clear. She's full of energy. I think she's under stress, really. She was kind of top of the pecking order because of how big she was. And then the smaller birds really staged a revolt, and they've been really nasty, kind of, to establish dominance. So I think she's a little bit stressed out, but the eggs she's been laying have been soft. And we don't want that. Yeah, James Tropicals, welcome aboard. Yeah, she'll eat just about everything. We produce 0% food waste practically. Almost 0%. Really, every single thing goes back into the yard now. And I made this transition to that state in like the course of a year. And then there's certain food wastes and even certain other wastes that I value now very much, that I used to not even think of as an annoyance, like cardboard. Any brown cardboard. Now I feed all of that to my worm farm. All right, let's go do the deed. Are there any other, I see actually a little bit of yuck in there. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so all this stuff is going to be great going right back in the yard, and we are going to demonstrate the most simple process ever to do this. And it's so simple that it's kind of like we all need a reminder to do it. Grab this little shovel. I love this kind of shovel. The short 4-foot shovel with the handle right here. It's perfect for this kind of application. And I'm going to go ahead and feed this Moringa tree right here, and primarily because it's got rather loose soil. So I'll set up the gimbal here. All right. Got the tool. And let's deposit this right at the base. And we do this with anything that is stale, but especially stuff that's more kind of gross, like, eggshells and stuff. Eggshells actually aren't gross. I was surprised they don't smell. They just sit on the counter. But all right, and this gives you a good picture of what the soil's like here too. It's improving here dramatically. I'm looking for worms or bug life in there. I don't see any worms in that scoop. But I like to go ahead and shovel it to the side. make a deep enough hole. Now, you know this is worm food, so I've been seeing a dramatic increase in worms in my yard. Crazy increase. There we go. All that food waste now down in there. And just to aid it along, you know, one little bit of advice is to crush it down so that you get as compact as possible. If you don't let air kind of holes through that can let the scent out to the top of the surface of the soil, that's going to be the best, obviously, because we have things like raccoons and even squirrels that'll come and dig that up. Because if they get on a scent, they love it. Now, I've been burying fish in my yard for years, absolutely for years. And that's a great practice, but that's really it. You don't need to have a compost bin or anything like that to start composting immediately. And that's fertilizer. All those minerals, all those nutrients now returned right back into this, which will then be fed to the chickens, turned into tea, eaten as the nuts start to happen. The drumstick tree, or the moringa tree, this tree is not even a year old. And I still have not pulled the trigger on planting my cherimoya tree. I'm staging it in one area. What I do is I place it in one area, allow it to be touched by the sprinklers. I really want it to live, to see if the salt water in the sprinklers will kill it. If it survives that or doesn't show much damage, I'll probably plant it there. But I like to place important trees like that carefully. Now, a thing in my yard, or maybe in your yard, because you might have a small yard like me, but you want to have maximum growth, is I leave this corridor of light through the middle. So you can see I really don't, you know, and it kind of terminates there, but it has to terminate there to some extent because there's a power line there. But the point is, this openness through the center, I believe, lights everything all around. So I'm trying to be careful to maintain that because I do like to have this green grass here, and it actually serves as a sort of a hay in my case. I'm not fertilizing it with anything but bunny manure. This is my little Moringa patio mango. And I'm pleased to report that the Moringa mango is getting some bulgy little buds at each one of the nodes, and I think it's going to do okay. This is one that is supposed to be somewhat like the Tommy Atkins, in that it's pest resistant, it's a big producer, it doesn't get tall at all. Patio mangoes is the term they use to describe these type of mangoes, but the Moringa is one that I wanted to experiment with, and my only regret in purchasing this is that I did not purchase two. There were three sitting there. This was the best one. I should have gotten this one and the next best one and just planted them, because this is really going to be a staple in my permaculture setup moving forward. The trading value of mangoes is, of course, super high. And I want to get that production way up. Now, I just trimmed my Tommy Atkins way back. And if you have mangoes, you know maybe that you need to trim them back after they fruit. Quickly after they fruit, really, after they're done fruiting. And it promotes the branching. And the branching then gives you more fruiting. And it's a good cycle. And you can keep it at the size. Now, this one, I was a novice. I was a novice when I planted the Hayden mango, and I'm going to admit it got away from me. We have a full-size island of Antigua gigantoid mango tree dominating the north end of my yard right now. It's, you know, I could try to see that as a problem, but I don't think I will, because it produced about 150 mangoes last year. My only problem really is that you can see the general nature of this thing is somewhat an umbrella, right? So if we get heavy east winds, I don't see anything tropical in the near term that's going to affect it, but I just worry about it being up that high. But at this point now, the branches are so large, it concerns me to trim it. I was just watching a David the Good video where he was talking about, you know, it's not too large to trim. That was a good one. But this is really large. Man, is that big. What are you going to do? Trim this? Hat racket? I don't know. I got decisions to make. on this mango tree, and maybe one of the decisions is let it ride, because really the only thing of consequence on this mango tree is this power line. And you know, it's not that easy to keep it from growing over that, but that's really the primary thing. Hey, little Ponzi. How you doing, sweetie? Let's get you back in. Let's get you back in with your friends. Hello, girls. See if I can unlatch it one-handed. We have a little system we use to keep the... There we go. Oh, they all come to the front. Having pet chickens is so incredible. The only bummer is, now to get on to the next topic, we have soft egg syndrome occurring. I collected 3 beautiful, beautiful, large eggs from the coop today, and then I got 1 egg that was laid outside of the nesting boxes and had a soft spot underneath which was leaking, and that's really gross, meaning I don't want that happening. Prior to this, we had all decent eggs, a couple small eggs, but I don't know. I had one viewer that said it's a calcium deficiency. Well, I'm hoping that's what it is, because if it's not a calcium deficiency, it's probably something like a virus or a bug or chicken cold or whatever. Hey, Joe Serrano, good to see you. Yes, welcome aboard. Happy to have you on here, man. Appreciate you. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned that this beautiful barred rock may have a chicken cold or something just because of the eggs it's been laying. Now, I wasn't going to be concerned, I decided, if it was just a sporadic thing. But now we've had a week where, you know, really almost every day it's laid not a good egg. I'll say 1 or 2 days it did lay an okay egg now that I think back, but it's been probably 4 soft eggs in about 7 days, let's say. So that's no good. So I'm not sure exactly what to do, but what we decided to do really was to give her some time outside of the pen, because I think part of her issue is she's so stressed out by this dominance hierarchy kind of change that she experienced. She really got dethroned. I mean, those golden birds just are not having it. And she was in charge, so I think that stressed her out. And I also think that it's probably a calcium deficiency. So to mitigate that, we're going to take her out of the pen for a decent amount of time every day and just kind of let her, under our supervision, do what she does, except for we're not going to let her get in that rain catchment system. That's another project I need to do. I've actually got a couple lingering projects. I hope you will stay tuned for upcoming videos on these, but this is no good. You see how she's curious about jumping into this little bin here? This is just a simple system I use. I Tupperware container I got at Walmart. I use that to collect the chicken bedding and then put it in the compost bin. And then I also use it just to catch water, and it's convenient to just catch the water that came off the roof. That was last night's water. And then I use that to mostly just to water the bunny pasture and manure. You know, it's easy to start really forgetting about the bunnies because the chickens are so darn adorable. They just are interactive. You know, like chicken time is time well spent, is what they say. Come on, you. Just get on in there. There she goes. Yeah, and I don't even think I'm going to hitch on the closing piece, because I don't think they have any desire to try to push out. Sometimes they'll try to push that door open. I think they are in the process of going up in that coop. Very lucky chickens. I know the bunnies have food. That's one thing I need to do. Run over to get some new bunny food. Also going to get some new hats. My hats keep becoming besmirched with the harsh happenings of the backyard. This one literally fell into the bunny manure bin. That was unpleasant. followed by the back of it breaking in half. So it's done. It's the end of that. So what I'm going to do is get some fresh Tractor Supply hats. I like going there to get the hats just because they cost $5 or whatever, $10. The work hats. And since we're working back here now, it doesn't feel like work, but since we're using the resources of the backyard all the time, it does feel, and you know, I'm gonna hang this up as an ornamental. I don't think we will, this was a hat which I've caught many fat fish wearing. I think we'll just give it the respect it's earned. Okay, so give you a quick update on one other element in the channel. I'm going to make I think some videos about this idea, but anyway, this is a collection of giant branches. Look at this in the evening. It looks all spooky back here because we are about to have rain. And I think it's going to rain for about the next 2 days, which I'm really looking forward to. And we'll get on that tangent here in just a second. But this is a longan tree branch. If you look at the leaf, you know, it's a familiar pattern. But my point is, you can harvest these leaves. They make excellent, excellent mulch. And in this case, chicken bedding. And I'll show you what I mean. I've got those. In just that amount of time, I've collected this amount of, and you can easily, unfortunately, these don't just fall off like most of the things I just let rest here. Some branches, some types of trees, as soon as you let them rest for a while, every leaf just naturally falls to the ground. This type of tree, not so much, but it's worth the effort because look at the structure of this. When these things all lay together in a big bunch, it is heavenly for those hens. And everything that I get like this now just goes back right into the chicken of this, and then they get to composting it. Look at this cherimoya. Okay, so let's look at how it's doing after just a couple days. Oh, thanks, James. Yeah, we're gonna look at that coconut tree. We'll do an update on that. But I'm looking specifically as I observe this thing, I'm looking for brown blackness on the tips. How is it doing in this location? And I do see a little bit of something. Any yellow, any black, brown, burn tips, any nutrient deficiencies, any spotting? Is it, yeah, doing anything that makes it stand out? And it's not really. It's got a little bit of a brown tip on one of the leaves, which is probably going to be kind of hard to see in this low light. We're really testing the iPhone 12 Pro. You can tell me how the video quality is, but you can see I'm pleased with that. And I'm just letting this cherimoya tell me what it wants to do. Do you want to live here? I mean, we're starting to get like borderline ridiculous. When you see this thing is sandwiched between the dwarf green Malay coconut tree I've got growing there. And let's just take a commercial break to check out the sky. It is getting ready to rain. The reason I point that out is I am curious about taking a mulberry cutting. I love to plant cuttings before the rain because it's just the perfect time to do it, especially in the evening where it's going to be, the sun's going to be off it. I'll tell you what, that's how a lot of these little cuttings grew. Hey, Stiegelman Family Farm, good to see you on the stream. Stiegelman Family Farm says, I just tried first purple mangosteen from Miami Fruits. I ordered a box of cherimoya. Sorry, the text went down. I ordered a box of cherimoya last week and I have the seeds in the ground now, but I've heard I'm too far south. You know what? Whoever you heard that from, you're too far south, don't believe them. You are not too far south. You just bring them inside. Easy. But yeah, the fact that you can grow a cherimoya tree from a cherimoya seed is incredible. That's not a feature of every fruit tree. But you know what? If you plant a seed that is not I've learned this over the years. If you plant a seed that is not going to produce genetically exactly the same trees from the seed, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you know what you're doing, you could take whatever it produces and make it a new variety and name it after something you like. But I'm gonna say that this cherimoya is doing pretty well. I'm pleased to have paid $40 for this tree. I'm kind of a stingy when it comes to paying for fruit trees. And, you know, I look around all the chains. In fact, I went over to Lowe's this morning, very early in the morning. I went over and checked it out, and they did have about 4 or 5 cherry mango trees. Nah, we're not doing that. Nope. They just looked, tired. You know how they're kind of shaky at the base of the tree, like it looks like it's not really solid. And then I did some research on cherry mangoes, and they are relative of the Julia mango? Anyway, it's a common mango in the Caribbean. Purple mangosteens are sometimes rotten inside when you buy them at the Asian markets here. Oh, okay. I don't know that I've had a mangosteen. I would love to have one, but yeah, that's an issue though with mangoes, right? If you don't want them to be too mushy, like what are they like when they're fruit? There's one variety that grows commonly in the Caribbean that is not juicy at all. It's a very firm mango, more like I don't know, maybe something you would say like a non-juicy apple. You know, so there are those kinds of varieties, and the name is escaping me, but the point is, there are so many mango varieties, but here's another point. The supply chain of mangoes seems to be broken. Just from my limited myopic perspective on the number of places that I go to look for mango trees, it's like there aren't mango trees around. It's really hard to find supplies of fruit trees now, which, you know, no worries. I'm not dependent on the supply of fruit trees. I could produce as many fruit trees as I want in my backyard now. I'm on the brink, by the way. It's cool. We got a lot of people on the live stream. Please don't hesitate to comment. This is just a casual thing. And it's way more fun when everybody's involved. So if you have any questions or observations or thoughts or anything, just jump right in, please. This is the evening. It's the best time of the day, except for the other best time of the day, which is every other part of the day. Yeah, I'm able to grow plenty of fruit trees back here if I want to. The question is what, where, how, when, and I have a number of things I've already committed to that are new that I think are going to be big producers. One is the pigeon pea, high protein pigeon peas. Very valuable crop, copious producer. I think it fixes nitrogen in the soil. It's a really good thing to have in your yard. Easy to grow, origins in Africa, eaten all over the world. Incredibly easy to grow. Once you have pigeon peas, you will never not have pigeon peas. Please grow pigeon peas. I mean, grow them. Why would you not grow pigeon peas? You know, I read a story about the soldiers at Valley Forge eating tree bark. And we just can't imagine the value of food right now. Today, and we're so plentiful for most people. So plentiful. But, you know, it's like, don't count on it. You know, and if everybody had a food producing capability in their life, what would that do to the world? That's the mission of this channel. That's why I do this stuff. And that's why I appreciate every one of you on the stream and who will watch this into the future. I hope you will subscribe. Let's look at this dwarf coconut tree. Why am I so obsessed with dwarf coconut trees? Why do I turn my nose up? Literally, I turn it into the up, all the way up. Why do I turn my nose up at full-size coconut trees? Well, probably because I'm not in possession of a property where I could grow one reasonably. And why? Well, I've got power lines right there. I've got all kinds of things like that. But also, you know, there's a couple clear benefits of getting a dwarf coconut tree. which you will definitely not experience with the large coconut tree. One is you plant this thing in the ground, and clock me on it, Eat Your Backyard Universe. Please stay on the channel for the next 3 years, approximately. And you tell me, do I get coconuts out of this thing in 2 years? Because, tempt me and I'll tell it what the deal is. I don't want to have to go overboard, but I'll tell it. If you do not produce coconuts within the next 2 years, you might be getting sent to compost camp. Just saying. Step up, produce those coconuts, and you know what? I'm confident it will. That's not a threat. That's a vote of confidence in this beautiful tree's capability. And you know why I'm super capable? Yeah, self-sufficiency and independence. Yes, exactly. Joe Serrano. 3 words, very deep. Very good. Exactly synchronized with what I was wanting to express here. Self-sufficiency and independence, exactly. And then I think, why would we even care if we're self-sufficient and independent? Why would that even matter? Well, of course, it's because the only way you can be strong for every other person in your world is to be super strong in yourself. Of course, we all know this who know this. If you don't, maybe start to know it. But this thing's gonna be bomber coconut tree, because I'm gonna rain it with bunny manure. So I'm gonna predict, as you watch, 2 years from now I'll have coconut fruit, and that's why this dwarf variety is really the right way to go for most applications. And here's the other thing. I'm in a high wind area. I don't need gigantic coconut trees that can drop bombs when they get 80 feet tall onto my house or whatever. So this gives me that. Okay, well, getting awfully dark back here. I guess the one late night thing, I've let some of these streams go into the evening. I'm not sure how they show up on this new iPhone. Hopefully reasonably okay. At least if nothing else, you can tell how it would work on your phone. Okay, we're going back in here. Look at this. My God. You hear that? Absolutely nothing. Those little hens know exactly what to do. They're all perched up. Man. And I think it really kind of stresses them out. And I'm not even kidding that it stresses them out if we, I'm being really, trying to be rather gentle. If I come out here after it's dark and coop them up, meaning, shut the door. EYBY Tropicals. Melbourne Beach in the house. Yes, sir. You are right. We require lights and we do not have them. Okay. Well, you've motivated me. I need to get them. I do this thing, and this is my OCD, chicken coop OCD. I want to count 5 chickens, because if there's not 5, one's out of the mix. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. 5 chickens. Yeah, so the soft-shelled eggs, it's a concern. I don't exactly know what to do other than I'm going to feed that hen as much black fly larva as I think is reasonable. In isolation, get them out of the pen, get a little special time. Oh, Stiegelman Family Farms. What type of rabbit do I have? And you know what? This will help EYBY Tropicals too. I'm gonna turn on my light capability in the rabbit run, and we'll go see the rabbits in the evening light, which is a nice time to see them. Actually, the rabbits are a lot more active. Okay, so the question was, what kind of rabbits do I have? I have lionhead bunnies. 1 male, 1 female. The male is named, yeah, we're going in. Okay, this is major engineering. I see Jack in there playing a video game. All right, we got power. Actually, my wife just told me, hey, how about we bring that mosquito trap over closer to the patio? I think I'm going to relocate it maybe. It doesn't really seem to be doing much where it's presently located. right in here. Look at that. Look at that. Welcome to 2021. Yeah. High technology mosquito traps that pretty much don't work. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay. Look at this behemoth. I don't know why we wouldn't do this. There you are. All right, so what kind of bunnies? Yeah, all right, Irie Tropicals. Yeah, I mean, it's not fancy. It's certainly not anything to be super proud of, but it's what I've got going on. Provides enough. Oh no, you know what I just realized? I don't know if you could hear that bunny turd hitting the pan down there, but look at these bunnies, they're so sweet. All right, let's actually, I always wonder which one to go. This is Penelope, or white female rabbit. And she already had time out of the cage today. We make sure we get them out of the cage every day and let them run and dig and do everything they want to do, and then they get real sleepy. But they're not in their sleepy period yet. Let's see if we can, I'm gonna put this down home. Let's see, actually, I've never tried this. You see this little bench here? That's my, you know, they call it the Zen meditation bench, or another way to refer to it is the mosquito torture zone. Really hard to know which way to go. But look at this, okay. All right, look, it's like a little rabbit stage. All right, I'll go grab that Penelope. Get her out on this bench, which I built. Okay. Oh, she's in a gentle mood. Yeah, so lionhead bunnies. And this is a female, like I said, and you can see she has this like beard. But they are just really, really docile. Yeah, it's either your Zen meditation bliss zone or a mosquito torture zone. It could be both. And why aren't they both the same? Look at this. But yeah, you know what? My son Jack taught me one of the greatest lessons of my life, which was related to mosquitoes. Because at some point it started to bother me how many mosquitoes I was experiencing. And I said, oh man, the mosquitoes. And he goes, yeah, you just got to not worry about it. And I actually thought, yeah, you could just not be super stressed out about mosquitoes and let the bites kind of happen. And then I said, he said, yeah, and don't itch it. And that was the wise words from the mouth of babes. But this rabbit is very chill. We're considering purchasing a third rabbit. I don't have full clearance on that yet, but I think we might do it. Irie Tropicals, yeah. 30-foot string of lights. It's amazing what 30-foot string of lights can do for your life. It's almost like you think, how is this possible? They're so bright. I never get tired of petting a rabbit, and these rabbits have been just pet and pet and pet their whole life. And like I said, they get to dig holes and they get to do like rabbit things. Bright tech. Okay, yeah, man. I'll tell you what, Irie Tropicals, leave a link in the description. Hey, by the way, you're kind of local here in the general area. Have you ever gone to that place down in Sebastian called A Tree for Me? That's where I got those dwarf coconut trees, and they are macking right now. So I'm thinking about potentially going back down there. see if they've got my mango tree out. I just, you know, use the old telephone, but it's not always so simple. Oh yeah, okay, so you know them. Yeah, they're super cool people. Yeah, and they got like great prices and lots of like everything I was looking for. So, okay, darn it. And now I got to go down there tomorrow. I should probably give them a call. What do you have? Do you have a mango tree, perhaps? A mango tree for me? They told me all about their mango tree supply issues last time I was down there. It was like mostly related to the freeze that was in Texas, and they said it was hard to get a supply because a lot of the mango trees were being directed to Texas because of the freeze, and it affected so many mango trees. We're trying to replant them. And when when you spend time with these little, I call them permaculture rabbits, but these little bunnies, you just realize you get in a zone. I mean, just the act of like, what did they say? The Zen thing, let the oxen meat guide the knife. It's like let the petting of the rabbit commence. No mangoes. Yeah. Well, I gotta have mangoes, and I'm gonna be trading a lot of mangoes. I'm gonna get into this whole like 2022 is gonna be the year of the trade. I'm gonna see if I can trade stuff I grow here, and it's not to a business trade as so much as like to be a node in a network of other people who have stuff that's cool and start to flow the value back and forth. I think that's one of the coolest parts of permaculture. Cheryl Diaz asks, what is this? That's a great question, Cheryl. Yeah, we're talking, so Cheryl, what this is currently is we're petting a bunny in a Florida Zen bunny sanctuary and talking about maybe shooting a mission down to a local nursery to get a mango tree in the near future. This is a channel where we try to get permaculture going, and even better yet, just hang out. This is Penelope, my pet rabbit, enjoying the evening with us. As you can see, she is pretty chill. Yeah, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. I mean, when we got them, they were terrified little tiny bunnies, and over the time, we just held them and pet them so much that even we let them out in the cage, out in the run all the time, in this larger run. Which, by the way, let's get the full situation. I'm gonna go check out the EYBY Tropicals relighting. I might end up upgrading. We've been talking about doing that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we love them too. They're sweet. You're sweet, right, Penelope? All right, I don't know. You can tell me if I can go get the second bunny. The second bunny is called Thumper. He's a male bunny. He's much smaller than Penelope. This is a girl, this is a female bunny, and she grew to be about twice the size of the male bunny, which is her brother. Yeah, she just gets in the zone. If you pet her like this, I mean, she just almost like... she's frozen. Bunnies can sleep with their eyes open. All right, I'm gonna go get the male bunny, which is Thumper. He is the Brad Pitt of bunnies. He's world famous, internet star. All right. There he is. See, the light's getting a little bit too low. You can only see the shadows. What a shame. What a shame. You see, obviously I need to improve my capability, but Thumper is just adorable. I mean, he really is a beautiful bunny. Best thing about these permaculture bunnies is that they are great pets and they produce the highest quality fertilizer I believe possible. They're the magic. Well, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to put Thumper back in the cage, go in, eat dinner, and get on with the day. But I appreciate everybody jumping on the stream. He wants to jump off the side. And thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard. Please check out my newest videos. They are done using a much improved kind of format and so on. I'd be interested in your opinion on it. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.